Hello and welcome to Migoyugo. I am the Nightfly, and this is Migoyugo. Brand new game. I invented it, trying to show it to the world and see if anyone else enjoys playing the game. Um, Maybe you have played the game before, maybe you have not. But if you've never played the game before, I'll tell you a little bit about it. And it really is pretty much the easiest game you're ever going to learn. It's easier than chess, it's easier than Go, it's easier than
Maybe
um,
you have played
pretty
the game
much
before,
everything, to
maybe
be
you have
honest with you.
not.
There's really nothing to it. So if you would like to learn how to play the game, just keep on watching. If you would like to play the game, all you have to do is sign in and be one of the members, and you can challenge me to a game. Now, I know that we have someone watching because just as I was getting ready for the live stream, just as I was logging in, DPA challenged me to a game and I had to decline that challenge because I was busy setting things up. But DPA, if you're out there, please, by all means, do challenge me to a game. I will accept your challenge. I will accept anyone's challenge. We have some regulars who come to the 6 p.m. Live streams, and that is DPA and Puppers. And we also have Less Than Pi, and we have Jed02 something, I can't remember. Um, Jed, anyway. But if you would like to play, it's a really simple game, and hopefully, um, DPA is still there and he will challenge me to a game any moment. But if not, I will show you how to play the game. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to show you how to play the game anyway. But if somebody wants to challenge me, if somebody is there and they would like to challenge me, just by all means do so. So up here in the top right hand corner, you have some different options for an opponent. And you can choose local play, you can play against the AI, or you can play multiplayer online. So you're playing against another human. Now, you don't have to sign up or be a member or give your email address or do any of that stuff to play any of these levels. Local play, AI, or multiplayer, you can do them all as a guest. Now, if you're a guest, you can only play online against another guest. If you're a member, you can only play against another member. And being a member means that you're going to keep your stats. So, for example, I can go back and I can see all the games that I've played. I can click on any of these replays and I can see the moves that were made and who won and who lost, and I can see my longest winning streak, my longest losing streak, how many consecutive days I've played, how many games I've played. WeGo's won, WeGo's lost. Anyway, you get the idea. You can see your last 10 results. So that's one of the benefits of signing up and being a member is you get to keep your stats. Um, Also, if you are a member, then you will be able to play against other members. And if we take a look here in settings, this is the classic theme. This is kind of when I designed the game, what it looks like generally, but you can change the look of your board. For example, we have the stars in the night sky. We're going to start with this one. I'm going to demonstrate with this one. So um, let's go to local play. And local play simply means that two people can play on the same board at the same time. And so I am white and black at the same time. So if you've never played the game, let me tell you how it works. You have white, you have black, and white always moves first. When you make a play anywhere on the board, that is called a Migo. You have 64 squares to choose from. You can put your Migo anywhere on the board as long as that space is not already occupied by another piece. So I could go down here as black. I can go up here as white. I can go down here as black. You get the idea. You can go white, black, anything you'd like to do. The only other rule about where you can or can't play is you are not permitted to make a line that is longer than four of your own color. So, for example, here I have one, two, three black Migos in a row. Then I have an empty space. Can I play on that empty space? No, I can't, because I have another Migo here, and if I put one there, that would make a line of five. No can do. And if I try, doesn't let me. That shows up as red. You see, illegal move. You can't create a line of longer than 4 of your own color. So I'll play over here instead. But you can make a line of 4. Well, you can see you can make a line of 3, and that leads to a line of 4. Now, I couldn't play here as white for the same reason I couldn't do it as black. That would create a line of 5, pardon me, more than 4. But if I play down here on G3, that would create a line of 4. And what would happen? Well, you have 1, 2, 3 Migos. The Migo is the black or the white piece. But if I play a 4th piece here, that then becomes a Yugo. And a Yugo looks a little bit different. It's a white piece with a red dot in the middle. And when I create a Yugo, these 3 Migos are going to disappear, just like that. So I create a Yugo. It's got a little red dot, and the 3 Migos that were there disappear. So when you're playing the game, remember that the space you're looking at might be occupied right now, but if it's occupied by a Migo, it might become available later because that Migo could disappear. So I'm going to play down here as black, and that will create another line of 4, create another Yugo, and these Migos disappear. I'm going to go up here as white, over here as black. I'm going to create another Yugo, and these 3 Migos will disappear. Same thing with black. I'm going to create a Yugo here, and these will disappear. So anytime you create a line of exactly 4, no more, no less, you will create a Yugo. So if I go here as white, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 white pieces in a row. That should create a Yugo. And it will here on D7. But remember, those Migos in a line disappear, but a Yugo can never be moved or removed from the board. If it's on the board, it's going to stay there until the end of the game. So these 2 Migos are going to disappear, but watch. I create a new Yugo, but the Yugo that's already there in that line, it stays there. So that's basically how you play the game. It's really easy. Let's do another one. There you go. And you notice that only the Migo disappeared. The 2 Yugos that were there didn't. Same thing here. That Yugo remains, these 2 disappear. So how do you win the game? What's the point? The point is you want to get what's called an IGO, which is 4 Yugos in a row. It's that simple. So I have 1, 2, 3 Yugos in a line, and there's a space in between. If I place another piece there, that'll be 4 in a row. That'll create a Yugo. And when I do, it'll create 4 Yugos in a row, and that's a win. I win with an IGO. And that is how you play the game. You place Migos on the board, you get 4 in a row, you create a Yugo, you get 4 Yugos in a row, you win with an IGO. But what happens if you can't create an IGO? What happens if the board fills up and every space is taken? Well, it could happen. Just happened the other day. So if you're playing and no one can create an IGO and all the spaces are filled or there's no legal moves left for any player at any time, the game ends with what's called a WeGo. And whoever has the most Yugos at that time will win. So up here, you can see white has 5 Yugos, black has 3 Yugos. If this game went to an end right now, then white would win because white has more Yugos than black. And that's the game. It's that simple. So I'm going to reset this. I can see we've got some people in chat. Hello to everybody in chat. I can see that Puppers is signed in. So Puppers is one of our regulars. He is one of the members, and you can see he's listed as green. Green means he's signed in. Puppers says, howdy in chat. Howdy, Puppers. And I know that we did have DPA. I can't say his name without messing it up. His name is Defected Pixel Artist, but I just call him DPA. I saw that he was here earlier, challenged me to a game, but I wasn't on the live stream yet. So, Puppers, if you would like to play a game, please challenge me to a game and I will accept your challenge and we'll play a game. Or anybody, whoever's there, if you would like to challenge me to a game, I will happily accept your challenge. And we do have over here 3 AI levels, 1, 2, and 3. If you've never played the game or you're brand new, give them a try. You don't have to sign in. They'll give you a challenge. But once you understand how the game works, you've played a few games, they're not that tough. But Puppers, on the other hand, is tough. I'm going to accept his challenge. And when I do, I'm going to see who is white and who is black. And it's completely random. Here we can see up here, Puppers is white. You can see that the white notification beside his name, and the Nightfly, that's me, I'm black. So Puppers went first. He chose to play in the middle of the board here on D5. I'm going to play right below that piece on D4. The game has a 10-minute clock. I'm going to play here on D6. The game has a 10-minute clock. When it's your turn, your clock is running down. And please remember that there's more than one way to win, but there's also more than one way to lose. And another way of losing is by running out of time. So please be careful. Keep an eye on your clock. You don't want to run out of time. I played, I think it was DPA the other day, and I ran out, or DPA ran out of time. So you can see that Puppers played here on G4, and these three white Migos disappeared. So these spaces that were occupied, they're now available. Where shall I go? How about here? Now, remember what I said about getting four in a row. Four Migos creates a Yugo. Four Yugos, you win with an Igo. And a Yugo can never be moved. So this white Yugo here on G4, it's not going anywhere. It's going to be there till the end of the game. And it's important to get Yugos, but it's also very important to get what I call connected pieces. These three Migos, these are connected. They're on the same line. They're within two spaces of each other. Okay. These two pieces, the Migo and the Yugo, they are also connected. And they are within, they're on the same line, a diagonal, and within two spaces of one another. So how you place your pieces is important. And having connected pieces is important as well. These are connected Yugos, really valuable. So you can't create a line of four unless those pieces are on the same line and within two spaces of each other. So having connected pieces is really important, especially for Yugos, because that's one way of winning the game. And I'm going to go back here. Now, Puppers might want to play on D5 and create a Yugo here, which he did. These two Migos disappeared. And the good news for me is now I can play on E5, create a line of four of my own, and this will become a Yugo, which is a nice place for my Yugo because it's right between these two white Yugos. So I know I'm preventing Puppers from playing an Igo, a line of four Yugos on this line with these two. Just something to keep in mind. Now I could play down here and create another Yugo and have these in line, but then I'm opening up this. I don't know if I want to do that right now. So in the meantime, I'm simply going to take up a little space, block a few things, and see where we go from here. Hmm. Lots of strategy going on in this game. The one thing that you've got to really be careful of is when the board starts filling up, you will recognize, oh, okay, I cannot remove that piece because it's blocking my opponent from creating an IGO. And if I remove that piece, then he's going to get an IGO. So it's important to pay attention and see what's going on. However, it's also really important that you recognize I've got to pay attention. But if I forget about that and do something later on, it might bite me in the butt. So for example, I have a Yugo here, here, and here, all in the C column, and Puppers had to block. Puppers had to play a piece on C4. Now I want to show you something. He's got three pieces in a row. If he places a piece on B3 or on F7, these two Migos are going to disappear. He's going to create a Yugo and he will lose the game. Because as soon as that Migo disappears, I'm jumping in and I'm going to create four of my Yugos in a row. But look, these three pieces in a row will also create a Yugo if he places a Migo on B4. These three Migos will disappear. That will be a Yugo. And again, it's going to open this up. So the point is, Puppers has to be really careful from now on because if he plays and makes this piece disappear, he will immediately lose the game. Something to remember. Pardon me. Now, remembering is one thing, but also realizing if he lets me play here, I'm going to create another Yugo for myself. But he pretty much has to let me play here because if he blocks, that's no good for him. What do I want to do? Well, that was good for him because he removed the potential of creating another Yugo with those. I'm going to block. No, you know what? I'm going to take the Yugo right now. I'm going to take this Yugo. Why not? And I know he's got these two connected Yugos. He may play up here, make three in a row, try to create another Yugo, but hmm, he blocked me there. Good move. Good move. However, I'm going to finally, I think, play here and create a Yugo. No, you know what? I'm going to block here first. I'm going to block because I'm blocking this Yugo. I'm blocking the potential for him to create a Yugo there. And I think I can do something with this. I think I can. But can I? Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to create another Yugo here. He could play here and have three. Yeah, that would probably be best for him. I probably should have blocked first here. Don't know. Okay, he's blocking there. I think I'm going to just take this opportunity to block. Hmm. Oh, I have an idea. I have an idea. I might have a forced win here. Let me take a look. Yeah, I have a forced win. I think. If I play if I play here on E7, if I play Amigo, I'm going to have three pieces in a row. Okay. Two of them are Yugos. And if he doesn't block one end or the other, I'll then create another Yugo and have three in a row. But remember that puppers cannot play on, pardon me, puppers cannot play on B4. If he does, it'll create a Yugo. These three Migos will disappear, and I will then have an open space on C4 to create an IGO. So if I play here, then if Puppers doesn't block, then I'm going to take this, and that's what we call a DPA. And let's see what Puppers does. Now he's listening to me. He probably should know what's going on, but he didn't block it. Ooh, that's a pretty good move because he did block here, and I can play here, and then he can block there. Good move. Maybe I shouldn't tell him all my strategies. I don't know. He blocked instantly. Okay, fair enough. So I was wrong. I didn't have a guaranteed win. And I blocked that. Hmm. Well, now he can't remove these two. We know that. And if I go here, I'm creating another line of three Yugos. He has to go here to block it. Now, this is interesting. He's got three pieces in a row. He's got a space, and then he's got a fourth piece. He cannot play there. So am I going to be able to take advantage of that? Let's see if I can. When your opponent cannot make a play on a square, you may be able to take advantage of that. You may be able to take that space. So he can't block me from going here. It doesn't really help me, but doesn't hurt me. I've got 8 Yugos, he's got 5. Then again, I've only got 2 minutes and 36 seconds left, and he's got 6.5. So for what it's worth, I will be a little bit more ahead. I'm going to block this, but then I'm prevented from playing here. Huh. Why not? Why not? Ooh, I have an idea again. I'm full of ideas here. Just none of them are helping. But I really do have an idea this time. Okay. I have an idea. He still can't play there. He's going to play down there. Good. He's doing a lot of blocking. And no, I'm prevented from playing there. I'm just going to get this done. These will disappear. So this can't be removed. This can't be removed. This can't be removed. This can't be removed. And I think there was one more. Any of those pieces are removed from the board, I will win with an IGO. So he's running out of spaces. I cannot play on F6. Got to keep that in mind. Don't know that it hurts me right now. Yeah, he can't play down here. And I still can't play there. You know something? I've got 9 Yugos. He's got 5. I'm running out of time. We're running out of space. I think I can take this to a WeGo. Now, what is a WeGo? I mentioned earlier that if no one can create an IGO and win with an instant win, that if the board fills up or at any point either player, not both, but either player have no legal moves, the game ends with a WeGo. And whoever has the most Yugos at that time will win the game. So you can win with an IGO by getting 4 Yugos in a row, or you can win by having the most Yugos when you get a WeGo. And you know what? I'm just going to start blocking up the board because he can't play here. He'll get a double Yugo if he does, but he's going to lose the game because this Migo will disappear and I'll get 4 in a row. So he can't play there. He also, what else can he not do? What if he goes there? Yeah, if he goes there, he'll lose the game. So I'll let him do that. If he goes here, there's 3 in this direction, there's 3 in this direction, so he cannot play on D7. I think I'm going to win with a WeGo. and I hopefully will do it before I run out of time. He still knows that I cannot play in that spot, but that's okay. But he's up to 6 Yugos. If we do go to a Wego, he needs to get more Yugos. But at this point, I have one mission: fill the board up, and don't let him get 3 more Yugos. He can get 2 more, but not 3. He still cannot play here. He still cannot play here. Um, I think there was something else that he couldn't do without losing the game. Oh, I think, yeah, yeah, if he plays F1, he loses. If he plays D8, he loses. If he plays D7, he loses. I think I'm in the driver's seat here. So for whoever else is in chat, hello, say hi if you want, and you're welcome to play a game against me if you would like. Um, I'd be happy to take on a challenge. If you want to play against me, just let me know. You can either type your name into chat and I will challenge you, or as soon as this game is over, you can challenge me. And if we don't have another challenger, I'm happy to play puppers again. But I'm down to a minute. He's down to 3 minutes. And I think I am going to win this game with a Wego. But you can never be too careful. You can never be too careful. Now, he cannot play on this spot because he would create a line of 5. He cannot play on that spot. So I'm going to play here. He can create another Yugo. He can create another Yugo. I can't play here. He's going to create another Yugo. I can't believe I'm letting him get away with all this. I'm going to have to create another Yugo or 2 myself. And I've got to be careful of him getting an Igo. He's catching up. Wow. This is certainly turning into an interesting. I'm blocking this. Well, if I let him take that, will he win or lose? I don't know. I'm blocking it. I'm blocking it. Now he can play here and he will create a Yugo. I have to block. Oh my goodness, this is going to turn into a crazy finish. He's going to get a double Yugo here. Oh my goodness, he's going to beat me. No, he's not. Yes, he is. He's going to have a double Yugo. I can't block both. Oh my goodness. But I had a Yugo myself. Oh my goodness. I did not even know. And here's the crazy thing. I couldn't play on E4 because that would have created a line of 5. But when he created that double Yugo, it opened up G3, which I had to play to block him. But in doing so, I, I bet you that's been there for the entire game. I'm going to go in review mode and I'm just going to go back. How long? Yeah, this was like way, way back. Where were we? No, it's farther back than that. Look at this. I'll show you the game later. I'm going to accept the rematch from Puppers. Okay, Puppers, I'm white. You're black. Let's see what you can do in this one. Good game. Thank you. That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea I was going to win that game with an IGO. I really, truly thought we were going to go to a WeGo, and there was no way that I was going to be able to create an IGO. I really, really had no idea. I didn't even see it. And I was in a rush. I was under a minute left on the clock. Wow. Very interesting game. Hmm. Okay, I will let him have that. So he could create a Yugo on B3 or on F7. He chooses not to. He's got three going this way, three going this way. He's got all sorts of options to create a Yugo. But I've got my heart set on this spot right here. I would like him to create a Yugo there or create a Yugo here. So I create one here or here. But this is an interesting strategy that we're both playing, which is I'm not playing the I go first or the you go first. You can play the you go first. And you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm playing the first you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the pieces are going to come flying off the board. We spent this time filling the board up with Migos, but now we're turning them into Yugos, and every Yugo that we create, the Migos disappear. And what are we going to do? That's not what I intended to do at all. That was, I'm not going to say it was a misclick, but it's not really what I wanted to do. But you know what? I'm taking that Yugo. He's got three Yugos, and they're all connected diagonally, vertically, horizontally. That's really good for puppers, not so much for me. So I've got to be careful. I've really got to be careful with C4. I've really got to be careful with D5. I think I've put myself in a bad spot right from the get go. And you can always see which was the last move played because it's highlighted in green. Yeah, not liking this all that much. I really don't like my position at all. Oh my goodness, that was a double Yugo. I wasn't even paying attention. So a double Yugo, you can create a double Yugo by creating two intersecting lines at the same time. Wow. I think that that is going to do me in. I've just got to start blocking. He's going to create a Yugo here. I'm going to have to block here on D4, and that piece can never move. So he's already up 5-4. He's got central Yugos. They're all connected, and I'm all over the map. He can create another. Oh my goodness. I am getting crushed. Already, I am getting crushed. This is just not good for me at all. Guess I better block something. I don't know. I really don't know. Should I be building? Should I be blocking? He's so far ahead at this point. Wow. I guess I should be blocking. I'd kind of like to build a Yugo. Now, oh, I really feel bad for puppers because there's a thing called a DPA. And I won't tell you why it's called a DPA, but it's a particular move. Puppers is crushing me here, but he didn't notice something. If I play here, I'm going to create a line of 4. That'll create a Yugo on E4, which will create 3 Yugos in a row. This Migo will disappear, and I'll have 3 Yugos in a row with an empty space at either end, which is unstoppable. If he blocks here, I go here. If he blocks here, I go here. And I'm going to send something into chat, and I'm going to say, pressure's on. I don't know why I would say pressure's on, but that's what I'm saying. And right now, Puppers is probably pulling his hair out. I mean, he's only one move away from a win himself. However, he missed that one. He missed that one. I'm going to say GG. There's a GG in here somewhere. GG? Somewhere. I probably should make this alphabetical. GG. And I'm going to type it into chat. GG. Okay, do we have anyone else? I'm going to refresh here and just see if we have anyone else signed in. We don't, just puppers, but we do have a few other viewers. Whoever you are, say hello. I'm going to type into chat. I'm going to say, hey there. And if you would like to say hi, say hi. Type something into chat. If you want to play against me, just let me know. You can type it into chat. You don't even have to sign up. You can play as a guest. I'll play you as a guest. But you got to let me know you're here so that I can sign out, because guests can only play guests, members can only play members. But puppers, if you would like to play another game, by all means, bring it on. That was a very strange game. You jumped way out into the lead, and then you missed a DPA, and it all ended very quickly. So puppers, if you want to challenge me, or I'll show you how it works. So puppers is green. So for example, Jed 0247, he's red. So if I want to challenge Jed to a game, doesn't let me do it. It just says the player is not online. However, if I go to puppers, who is green, he's online, he's a member, I can then challenge puppers to a game. So I click on that. It says waiting for puppers to accept the challenge. He has 30 seconds to do it, and he did right away. Now I'm white, and you can see I'm white, he's black. I'm going to do something just to make a point, because we don't know what is or isn't a good strategy in this game. We haven't played this game enough. Computers and AI, they haven't played this game. No one, including me, knows what a good opening is. So generally, we would assume, I guess, that playing in the middle is probably better. However, remember what I said about Migos and Yugos. Migos disappear, Yugos don't. So I have 3 Migos in a row. He's blocked on E4 with his own Migo. I'm just going to play up here. But if this Migo ever disappears, I'm going to take it. I'm going to create a Yugo of my own, and these 3 Migos that are way off in the corner, they're going to disappear. So at the moment, they're not really all that useful. But at the same time, they're not bad. They are making it possible for me to, at some point, create a Yugo. This was a really bad move, by the way. I'll just let him create his Yugo over here, which I know he wants to do, or I suspect he wants to do it. But I need to create a Yugo here, because I need to get rid of this Migo, because as long as this Migo's here, I cannot create a Yugo. So I'm just going to get rid of it. I really don't know what I'm doing. There's a lot of strategy involved in this game, and right now I'm not using any strategy. I'm just being silly. But you know what? Nothing wrong with being silly. Nothing wrong with being silly. I don't think. Do I want to block? If I block, he plays here, he'll have 2 Yugos. Yeah, I probably want to get in the way of that. And okay, he's going to go down there. I'm going to play up here. Like, this game is so different from the last game. Not that the last game was a good game or was well played by either of us, but it's like chess, it's like Go, Every game is very likely going to be very different from every other game. I want to create a Yugo here. Now he can block it by creating his own Yugo here, which he did. But remember what I said about starting in the corner and how if I create a line of three, at some point the Migo on e4 might just disappear and I'll turn that into a Yugo? Well, that's what happened. So these pieces that were just kind of discarded off to the side and in the corner, not really helping anybody, well, they became a Yugo. Now he can create a Yugo here, he can create a Yugo here. He's got his own thing going, no question about it. But I just want to show you that starting in the middle isn't necessarily a requirement, right? It might be a good idea. I don't know if it's, I don't think it's a bad idea, but it's not a necessity to start in the middle of the board. Just wanted to show you that. But I do have to be careful because he's got two connected Yugos. I have two Yugos not connected. These two Yugos will never create an Igo because they're not on the same line. These two Yugos of black, however, could. So I got to be careful of that. I am going to put a Yugo in here. Once again, I have three Yugos. None of them are connected to the others. Not helpful, but you know what? At some point, it might all start to make sense. Maybe. He can go down here and create a Yugo, or he can go up here and create a Yugo, or he can go over here and create a Yugo. He's got lots of options. If he goes down here, he'll have those two. I'm okay with that. Okay. For whomever else is watching the stream, welcome to Migoyugo. Glad to have you here for the stream. And I've just put another Yugo on the board that is not connected to anything else. I have to block here because that's a DPA. If I don't, remember, always block your DPAs. Always be blocking, especially those DPAs. So once again, I find myself in a spot where I don't feel too good about this. The layout is just not great. Now, that could have something to do with the fact that I started in the corner, but I just don't feel like I really have a great game going on here. And I do not want to remove C3. I do not want to remove C3. That would be very bad. So I've got to remind myself of that. Don't remove C3. He's piling up in the middle, and that's a very, very um, smart thing to do because central control is important, especially if you're controlling it with Yugos. And he is. And right now, this game is really a stinker as far as I'm concerned. I'm not doing anything right. He's probably going to create a Yugo here. I would if I were him. I'm going to have to go over here and block, but blocking with Amigo isn't good. Um, he can create a Yugo down here. Like this is about as bad a game for me as I could possibly have. Oh. So I'm going to block there. He's probably going to put Amigo here on D5, I'm guessing. Nope, he's going down there. I have nothing going on. Like really, I have nothing going on. There's nothing good about this game for me. Nothing. Oh boy. He could play over here. These will disappear. Like there's he's got me over a barrel for sure. He had to play that. That's a DPA. He cannot let that go. Hmm. If I block here, if I block here, I could create a Yugo here. Then he would do this. He would have that. Then he would have three Yugos in a row, and I'd have to block that. It's looking a little better for me, but not great. You really have to think ahead quite a bit. You really do have to think ahead quite a bit. It's if he does this, that'll happen, and then I can do that, and that'll happen, and then he'll do that, and that'll happen. But eventually you run out of, well, what if he does this? Because he may not do that. There are times when you can force your opponent into a move, but we're not there just yet. But it's looking a little bit better. I can breathe a little bit easier at this point. Not much, but a little. I still don't want C3 to be removed. Not as bad as it was, but it's not great. Now, if I remove this, that disappears. He goes there. I go there. Not great. Gotta tell you, not great. Do I want to create a you go there? I can't. I can't create a you go there. What am I doing up there? Nothing. I'm doing absolutely nothing of value up there. I'm going to work on my own little story down here, I think. He's going to create a you go there. What on earth was the point of me doing that? Nope, that was not a good move. I'm sure he's going to block it, and in doing so, he's going to create a you go, and then I'm going to have to jump in here and don't know. Yep. Well, okay, I'll jump in here. I guess I had better. He knows I can't play on A5 because D5 would disappear, and then he would have a DPA. I go there. I get two. He goes there. Don't know if that was the right move, but he has to block it. And I have to block here. He'll probably go E6, blocking my Yugo. Probably. Okay. I'm down by a Yugo, but all is not lost. I still have to be very careful in a few spots on the board. But again, it's not as dire as it once was. What if I was to go here? That opens up and that opens up. I create a Yugo. Okay, I've got to block there, and I create a double. Yeah, I think he had me. I got to be honest with you. I was looking at too many different things. I created a double with this, and I don't even know what was going on. Okay, puppers, I'm up 2 games to 1. I'll play you one more game, give you a chance to tie it up, or see if I can end up the champion today. Um, you let me know. If you want to challenge me, you can just do a rematch and you'll be white this time and I'll be black. But interesting game. That was a very interesting game. And lots of Yugos on the board. 10 for Puppers, 9 for me. And yeah, that I didn't have a good start, but it was an interesting game. And okay, Puppers, this is it. Last game of the day. Here we go. It is me against Puppers. I'm white. I'm going to start right here. I'm not going to take up a whole bunch of time this time. I'm just going to get right to it. I'm going to see if I can stay ahead of Puppers on the clock. I do tend to take a lot of time, not so much with just the thinking aspect of things, but the fact that I'm explaining things to people and kind of explaining it to myself as well. But I do take up a lot of time. So I am going to race through this game. I'm going to see if I do just as well when I'm moving fast. We'll see. I don't know. That last game was a pretty interesting game. No question about it. Hmm. He's going down here. He could go here and create a Yugo. So I'm going to block it. So if he wants a Yugo down here on G1, he's welcome to it. But I know that if C5 is removed from the board, he's probably going to create a Yugo there at some point. So maybe that's not something I want to do. He could create a Yugo out of these. He could create a Yugo here. Would he go down here? What's he waiting for? If I create a Yugo here, that doesn't really open up anything for him. And gives me a Yugo. Sure, why not? Now he can't go here because that would create a line of 5. You're not allowed to create lines of 4. Are you able to see the board? I don't know if I don't know if you can see the board all that well. Okay, he went there. Right smack dab in the middle of what I was going to do. Okay, fair enough. Um, I just want to change the board to marble. I like the marble theme actually. Okay, well maybe that's a little bright. I don't know. So he's got a Yugo here. He's got a Yugo here. Central Yugos, very strong. Huh? I'm just going to go back to the classic theme. There we go. That's so bright on my eyes after the dark. I kind of like the dark. Hmm. He's going here. He's got two Yugos. I'm going to go up here. Now he might play here to block, but he's blocking with Amigo. So not a big deal to me. Well, now he would be blocking with a Yugo, so I'm going to definitely have to take that. Now I've got three Yugos in a row. He's got to be careful. He cannot remove D3. And with this Yugo on E3, I blocked these two Yugos. So these two can never form a line. Not possible. Let's go up here. Uh-oh. I've put myself into an interesting spot. I said he can't remove this piece, but the truth is he can remove this piece because I, I messed things up and I can't play here because that would create a line of more than four of my own color, and he knows that. So that's not very good. Well done. I've got to say in this chat, well played. And now he's going to create a Yugo right in the middle of my Yugos and block that. Very well played. Now I've got to block that, and I can't remove D2 or D6. So that was really, really well played. You noticed that. You took advantage of my error, and that really worked out well for you. Excellent, excellent play. And just like I said, my going here on E3 blocked these two Yugos. Well, he stuck his Yugo right in the middle of my three. So these will never form an I go on that line. It's nice to have them. They will hopefully come in handy at some point, but it's not looking good. Yeah, I can't create a line. He knows what I can't do. I can't create a line there. If I play here on B4, I create a Yugo, these two Migos disappear, and suddenly he's going to have four in a row. Oh my goodness, he won. I can't block this. He's got three. I can block it, but watch what happens when I do. This Migo is going to disappear. And of course, he wins. Well done, sir. Well done. Well, it's been an hour and we've had a few people come and go. Puppers, we played 4 games. I'll call it even. Tonight, I had 2 wins. You had 2 wins. Well done. Thank you for playing. Listen, remember that every single day, 6 p.m. on weekdays, we have a live stream. Feel free to join. 3 p.m. on weekends. You can always come and play a game, but this game is always here, migoyugo.com. You don't have to sign in. You can play as a guest. You can play against the AI, and it's a fun game. Very easy to learn. Give it a try, and if you enjoy it, share it with a friend. I see we have 4 people in the stream. I'm just going to say hi in the stream and see if anyone wants to say hi back. We've got a few more people watching, and if you're watching and you're interested in playing a game, then please let me know that you're there. And if not, if you're a shy person, that's okay. Ooh, by the way, I'm going to be starting a Twitch account and I'll be streaming on Twitch as well. And hopefully find a few more people there. Oh, DPA, you just got here. Okay, DPA, I got to have a game against you. I've just played 4 games against Puppers. He won 2 and I won 2. So, DPA, challenge me to a game if you would like to play a game. Otherwise, we're going to end the stream. But unfortunately, you missed the stream, but you may be able to play a couple of games. Well, if you challenge me right now, we'll have one more game for the stream. And if you would like to do that, I will wait for you to challenge me. So go ahead and There we go. DPA. I'm accepting his challenge. Whoop. One or both players are not connected. What is going on with that? I don't know. I'm going to decline that. I'm going to refresh my screen. Um, let's see. Is DPA there? I don't see you there, DPA. It doesn't show you that you're logged in. So please challenge me again. I noticed that earlier when you tried to challenge me. So please challenge me again. There we go. Wow, one or both players are not connected. Okay, that's not working. I don't know why it's not working, but let's try something different. I'm going to go to online multiplayer. I'm going to hit start and I'm going to hit quick match. Okay. When I hit quick match, it searches for a match. So I'd like you to do the same thing. Please go to just click online multiplayer and hit quick match. And let's see if that works. Okay. We're learning as we go along, but there might be something wrong with the connection. I'll have to look into that. For anyone who's wondering, I created this myself. I did all the code. Everything you see, I created. So if something goes wrong, yeah, there's a good chance that I made an error doing something. So I'm not really too surprised when something goes wrong. Okay, we're going to cancel that search. I'm going to refresh my screen. I'm going to go in here to players. There's DPA. I'm going to challenge him. Let's see if this works. There we go. Okay, DPA, you're playing as white. This is the last game of the stream. You go ahead and I'm going to play fast. This, by the way, is DPA, for whom the move known as the DPA is named. His name will live in infamy. Infamy. And you know what? I think I'm going to do a video later on after we're done with the stream. I think I'm going to create a video. Why did I let him have that? Oh, okay. I let him have that for that reason. Fair enough. Um, I'm going to create a video and it's going to be all about what is a DPA and why don't we like them? I mean, we like them when our opponent does it, but when you do it to yourself, it's not a good feeling because you lose the game unless your opponent's not paying attention. So here we go. We're 14 moves in. No one has created a Yugo. At this point, DPA could create one here on B6 or on F2, but he has not yet. Ooh, look at this. That's an open space. He cannot play there. I am going to turn that into my very own Yugo unless he creates a Yugo and gets rid of one of these Migos. No, he didn't. Okay, so I'm going to go here and I am going to create a Yugo right there in the middle of the board. He cannot play there because he would create a line of more than 4. Not a big deal early in the game, but it's nice to have a Yugo in the middle of the board. These 4 squares, nice central squares, they're useful because you can build off them. Um, usually having center control with Yugos is strong. Now he's created his own Yugo here. And what have I got going on? I could create one in the corner. I don't really think I want to do that. I don't think having a Yugo in the corner is really all that worthwhile. I've won games by creating a Yugo or an Igo by placing a Yugo in the corner, but really not what you want to do. Hmm. Okay, let's go here. he can create an Yugo, but these would disappear, and he knows I'm going to have another central Yugo if he does. He could create a Yugo with these, but I'll have a Yugo here myself. So I think he's pondering life, wondering if that's something that he wants to do. Boy, did Puffers crush me in the last game. Man alive, I was so far behind. I think I'm simply going to build around the perimeter. If he creates a Yugo there, which he could do, that disappears, so I want that. If he creates a Yugo here, then that's okay. So I'm gonna place a Migo here. If he wants to create a Yugo here on D6, that's gonna open up E6, and I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna create a Yugo. But then that's gonna open up E4, and he's gonna create a Yugo. Chain reaction. Okay, he did that. So here comes the chain reaction. He created a Yugo. It opened up a space for me to create a Yugo, which opened up a space for him to create a Yugo, which I'm guessing he'll probably take. I don't see why not. Which opened up a space for me to create a Yugo. And that's how the board goes from full and complicated and messy to where'd all the pieces go? We've got more Yugos in the board, but every time we created a Yugo, a whole bunch of pieces disappeared. Now, who's ahead here? I'm going to say it's pretty close. We both got three Migos fairly centrally located. They're connected. I'm a little bit ahead because these two are not connected. This Yugo here for white is not connected to these two because my Yugo's in the middle. Mine, on the other hand, is. So I prefer my position. He could create a Yugo up here, which would be a really bad move because that would be a DPA he'd leave behind. I'm guessing he'll probably block here, but he doesn't have to. I'll create a Yugo. He'll have to block at that point. He did not. Okay, do I want to create a Yugo here? Why not? Why not? Now he can create the Yugo here, but I'm going to go up there. It's not a block, but it does make things a little tougher for him. If he creates a Yugo here on F7, these Migos disappear. He knows I'm going to create a Yugo here, and he's going to have to block, and he won't be able to move that, and he won't be able to move that. So, okay, he created the Yugo over here instead. Now I've got to watch out because he's got these connected Yugos. Not a fan of that. And he's blocking me here. Is he going to come down here? I'm going to go here. I think he'll probably block, but he's going to be blocking with Amigo on E3. And Amigo, I don't have a problem with him blocking with Amigo because if he creates a Yugo here, I'll just take it. If he creates a Yugo here, I'll just take it. So I'm okay with him blocking with Amigo. And let's work our way up the board. I will give him that Yugo. If he wants it, then I'll create my own here. To me, that seems like a fair trade. Well, slight advantage for me. Now, is he going to block here? He will block with the Yugo. Okay, there we go. Now, I know I have to be careful because there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on, and I don't want to miss anything that he's doing. You've really got to think ahead. So if he creates a Yugo here, that disappears. If I create a Yugo there, why don't I create a Yugo? How would that hurt me? I don't think it would. But if I block, what if he creates a Yugo? If he creates a Yugo here, he's going to have these two. That's going to disappear. Okay, I'm going to go here. If he creates a Yugo here on D3, which he did, then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to block with my own Yugo. Ooh, this is getting a little bit tight. We both have connected Yugos. We're both blocking one another. We're both fairly central. I mean, I would love for that to disappear, but there's very little chance of that happening now. So let's just go here and create another Yugo. Whether I create it here or here, I'll take another Yugo. Um, I'm not going to block. You know what? I'm not going to make another Yugo there. I would rather not. I would rather have a Yugo here, definitely. But I'm running out of space on that side. Okay, we're tied 6 Yugos each. What do I have to be careful of? Coming down here, coming across here. This one here for sure. Oh, I should have played on H3. That would have been the move. Because then if he creates a Yugo, I create a Yugo. Now if he creates a Yugo, I can only block with Amigo. Okay. If he comes here, no, I need to play here. Absolutely, I think H4 is the move. Oh, no, not H4. What on earth am I thinking? H3. Oh my goodness. I should have blocked on H3, letting him have H4 to create the Yugo, then I can block with my own Yugo. Silly, silly, silly. If he creates a Yugo, I create a Yugo. If he creates a Yugo here, I create a Yugo here. Very close match. Now he's threatening Yugo on this line and over there. Threaten all you like. Oh, okay. Threaten all you like. If you create a Yugo down here or over here, I am going to create one on B4. Okay, I lied. If he creates a Yugo here, I'm not going to create one on B4. I'm going to create one on C3 and win the game. Sorry, DPA. I can't tell you all my secrets. You're watching a stream, for goodness sake. So in chat, I'm going to say GG. And in the chat, in the game, what am I going to say? Thanks. He said, nice move. And I said, thanks. And let's also give him an emoji. Let's give him a laughing emoji. Well, I want to thank all of you for coming to the live stream. Thank you. And we will have another live stream tomorrow on Saturday at 3 o'clock p.m., Sunday at 3 o'clock p.m. too. I'm working on getting this Twitch stream thing set up. I don't know how to do it. I'm an old man. What do I know about Twitch? But I'm going to play on Twitch and see if we can get some people over there. And of course, you're welcome to come over to Twitch and try it over there as well. But the game is here for you anytime you like. Migoyugo.com and sign up as a member and play against other members, keep your stats, or if you prefer, you can just play as a guest and you don't have to sign up at all. Thanks for playing. Thanks for joining. And I'm going to take one of these games and I'm going to post it as the game of the day. You'll see that tomorrow. So let me go down here and click on this and click on that and stop the stream.